This is Conference USA on ESPN+. And this is March. It's senior day in South Florida for the FIU Panthers, who are hoping to climb up the conference standings. Tonight, squaring off against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers aiming for their 20th win of the season. Welcome into the Ocean Bank Convocation Center. Great to be alongside Jacob Ridenauer. I'm AJ Ricketts. Partner, the FIU Panthers have been plagued by injuries all season long. That theme, unfortunately, continues tonight. FIU's leading scorer, rebounder, distributor, and the nation's leader in assists, sophomore guard Arturo Dean, out this evening. So a tough task becomes tougher for the Panthers. How does FIU find success tonight?
Yes, they're going to have to lift themselves up from within, and more guys are going to have to step up to the plate. Hawkins is the key. He is the guy. He's had a 30-day stretch this year where he had 7 games over 20 points average, and he had 7 different 20-point games this year. He's going to have to really step up, and you see right here, he can shoot the 3. He's a number 3-point shooting percentage guy in Conference USA. He's going to have to really knock it down and step up. And you're going to have some other guys step up too. Pinckney's going to have to be big inside with these bigs. But Javonte Hawkins is the key for the motor today.
Hawkins, one of 2 seniors being honored tonight, as well as veteran big man Seth Pinckney for the Panthers. For Western Kentucky, junior guard Don McHenry leads the way. Just under 16 a game this season. He's having an all-conference caliber kind of year.
He is the head of the snake. He can run the floor. He is faster with the ball. You can see right here, he can just beat his man off the dribble, takes tough shots, makes tough shots, and his teammates understand that he's going to take those shots, and they're going to go in there and rebound. But he also, you can see right there, he can shoot that ball from deep as well. He's shooting 41% from 3, but he really likes to go to the rim.
McHenry, the 3rd leading scorer in Conference USA, as we take a look at the starting lineups first for FIU. It's been shuffling in and out this year for head coach Jeremy Ballard with the injuries. All freshman guard last year. Deshaun Giddens is also out for the year. So Jaden Lipscomb and Petar Kravakovic get the starting nod. Dante Wilcox has had a nice stretch of games underneath for FIU the last few weeks as well. For Western Kentucky, first start of the season for the freshman Tegan Moore, averaging just over 6 points per game this season. McHenry joined by Brandon Newman as Hilltoppers averaging double figures on the year thus far. Babacar Faye will jump off against Seth Pinckney. And we're underway here in Miami. Glad to have you with us on ESPN+. As McHenry will set up the Western Kentucky offense. The Hilltoppers 19-9, entering tonight 8-6 in Conference USA play on a 2-game slide right now after winning 6 of their previous 7. Trying to get back on track here on the road as a foul called underneath. It'll be on Kravakovic away from the basketball. What are some keys for Western Kentucky tonight, partner, trying to get off this 2-game skid?
Yeah, they've got to get together. They kind of lost their identity a little bit, as Coach Lutz was telling us, and like not really working together. He's got to keep them back on the same page, and right there.
Well, rejected by Pinckney. Faye thought he had an easy one underneath, but a good recovery from FIU senior center. Here's Javonte Hawkins, who's upped his average from under 6 points per game to nearly 13 this senior season. And Jaden Lipscomb knocks down his first shot attempt here on the evening from the outside.
Lipscomb's got to step up too. He's almost 36% from 3. His shooting outside tonight is going to be key.
No Dean, no Giddens, no Jonathan Abar or Mo Sanogo. As Faye gets that one to go off the window over Pinckney for Western Kentucky's first points.
Faye is so good in there. The way he can just establish himself. He's a big get from College of Charleston.
Wilcox forcing his way underneath, a bit too strong. Western Kentucky running. They play with pace, a bit too fast there. FIU now in transition.
Yes, they want to run to the rim, and they want to look for layups until you can stop them. That's Western Kentucky's mentality.
Hawkins from downtown.
The senior night mustard right there on top of the hot dog. We'll take it all night.
And quickly on the other end, Moore with the bucket.
The freshman Moore is really making a name for himself on that roster and getting playing time. As you can see, he got the start tonight.
Steve Lutz was highly complimentary of the effort of Moore, his freshman campaign, our conversation with him the other day. Just over 6 points per game this year, coming off 13-point game against the Panthers first time around. Kravakovic couldn't get that reverse to go.
That's a tough force right there in traffic.
Marshall nearly turned it over into the corner. Here's Newman. Too strong. Fa reaching over Pinckney there and committing the over the back.
It's a long guy trying to reach over Pinckney. Fa's a big, long fella, too. Right here, you can see ball movement. Catches it right there in rhythm. You got to love it. Hawkins is a really good shooter when he catches it and just shoots it.
So the positive, or the perspective FIU may take heading into this. A couple of weeks ago, the Panthers, they played Sam Houston, who was tied atop the league standings along with La Tech. FIU did not have Arturo Dean in that game as well, and the Panthers were able to eke out a win against the Bearcats in that game. Took everything they had in that performance and some great defense as well. That's an offensive foul on the Panthers, but this is not a situation without precedent for head coach Jeremy Ballard's squad.
Yes, Coach Ballard is down 3 starters, really. You know what I mean? Like, so he's been dealing with it all year. He lost Abar in December, and then he lost Gittins in January, and here he is the last day of February, yesterday, this weekend, and he loses his starting point guard and arguably the best point guard in the league.
FIU hopes to have Dean back for the final regular season road swing next week as Rodney Howard spinning and travels. Good post defense there from Pinckney, who has a rejection and forces the turnover there.
They're setting the precedents in the paint right now. They're going to let these guys make some contact, and it makes it fun. You know, it makes an exciting game when they're not like chipping it. But right there, we're going to see a little wrestling match down there with the big fellas.
Seth Pinckney transferred in 3 years ago from Quinnipiac. Hawkins from downtown. He has a pair of triples in the first 3 minutes for FIU's senior sharpshooter, Javante Hawkins.
He got some pep in his step, and I don't blame him if I was shooting it like that to start the game.
Another whistle underneath. This one on Pinckney. A couple of whistles away from the basketball. But how about Hawkins from the outside here to start things off?
Look at this. Right, comes off the ball screen and just steps back behind it and shoots it, drills it down. Back to this live action we had right here, AJ. This is concerning because Pinckney is not as strong as the big guys from Western Kentucky. You can see right there, Wilcox is having to wrestle with him, trying to establish himself, and that could be a problem if they don't just let him play.
Not a lot of size on the court right now for the Panthers. Jaden Grant has subbed in, but forces the steal. FIU considers Grant one of their better perimeter defenders. Kravakovic short, but Grant grabs the offensive rebound.
I'll take that shot all day. It was right in rhythm and clean, and just a little short.
Hawkins dribbling into traffic. It'll stay with the Panthers.
That's the biggest thing that Coach Ballard was talking about. He was worried about because Coach Lutz with his squad with the Hilltoppers, he likes to suck in. Like they help to the ball as they penetrate. And you can see that last play right there. He basically dribbled off one of the feet of the Hilltoppers because they were doing their team principles and close up the gap.
This game was a barn burner the first time they played in Bowling Green as Lipscomb can't hit. 105-91. One of the highest scoring games in league action this entire season.
That's a crazy number when you think about it for two conference foes that do play defense.
And that's out of play. Another Western Kentucky turnover. That's 4 here in the early going.
And that's what Coach Ballard wants, and he's turning you over where Coach Lutz wants him to protect the ball, and so you got two contrasting styles a little bit. Even though Western Kentucky gets up and down the floor, they're not a big-time turnover team.
Well, Steve Lutz was talking about that first matchup between these two teams. He said, 105, it's almost unheard of in a Conference USA game. We call 2 set plays, one to start the game, one to begin the second half. After that, we just didn't call a single play the whole game, but it was working out for us. We really wanted to attack off the press, and that was a strength for Western Kentucky in that win. As it's out of play here, it'll stay with the Panthers. Fast start here in Miami. Panthers with a 5-point lead. FIU and Western Kentucky are off and underway here in South Florida. FIU will need a sharp shooting effort from Javante Hawkins and company tonight without the services of Arturo Dean and Deshaun Giddens, and a sharp shooting start for the Panthers, 9-4, you're 4+ minutes in. AJ Ricketts alongside Jacob Ridenauer. Partner, what do you feel of FIU's offensive approach here in the first few minutes? 9 quick points.
Well, it's going in their favor right now because they're getting looks from deep and they're shooting well. Javante Hawkins with those threes right there, stepping back behind the screen, and everything's in rhythm right now for FIU, so it's really going in their favor. Western Kentucky's turning the ball over, and they've got to kind of relax and find themselves. He's got 2 freshmen on the floor right now, and that's where he's trying to find himself. He's kind of frustrated, obviously, or he wouldn't be playing 2 freshmen.
Hawkins looking for a quick 8 off the mark there. How can Western Kentucky be a little crisper offensively?
You know, they got to meet their passes. They know the pressure's coming. You know, it's like a lot of guys get lazy and wait on the pass. You got to meet your passes and be crisp with the catch and strong with the ball.
Haven't scored in 3 minutes. 4 turnovers in that span as well. Here's a right wing 3, and that will end the drought there as Brandon Newman connects from the right wing.
Yeah, Newman, 56% of his shots are 3, so that doesn't surprise me. He missed his first look, and that was a really clean one in rhythm.
High impact transfer for Steve Lutz as Hawkins can't connect from the outside. Newman coming in from Purdue, spent 3 years for the Boilermakers. Of course, Purdue ranks #1 for a significant stretch of time over those years as Newman has 5 straight points here in Western Kentucky, taking a 10-9 lead.
Newman right there turned down the layup to take a step back and shoot about an 18-footer. Obviously, he likes the jump shot.
Much better offense out of that under 16 timeout for the Hilltoppers here. This is Okechukwu Okeke underneath, who subbed in, as well as Jaden Brewer, who kicks the Lipscomb. 3 rattles in from the corner.
He's big in this game, AJ, for Ballard and the Panthers. He's going to have to knock shots down with Hawkins.
Jack Edelin has subbed in as well for Western Kentucky as Okeke got bit on the pump fake, and Callum Bay will go to the free throw line.
Callum Bay sold him on that ball fake right there. He just showed it up in his face, and KK just wanted to send that thing in the bleachers.
To stay on the floor.
But KK, he got to put that in the back of his noggin right now and remember, okay, I'm going to get a ball fake for Colombe, and I got to stay on the ground and set myself.
Colombe off on the first.
Colombe had a decent game. He had 8 points and 3 of 7 and 5 rebounds up in Bowling Green last month, but he also had 5 assists, you know. I mean, I'm sorry, 4 turnovers.
I'm interested to see Western Kentucky's efficiency defensively tonight, particularly here in the first half. There's a point of contention for Steve Lutz in that loss to La Tech, allowing the Bulldogs to shoot 8 of 13 from distance and 51% from the field in that first half. Wraparound pass taken away by Newman. Good anticipation there.
That's a tough pass right there, AJ. You can't give the ball low in traffic. You got to put it up at the rim and let KK go catch it. That's the tough break.
Inside, Howard turning on Okeke. It rolled out.
That's about as good a defense they can play in the post for FIU, and Howard's got it. He's going to get frustrated. He can finish this, but he's going to dunk on you. He's pretty athletic.
Bridget attacking, got to the elbow, and the step back is true.
He's another kid that can shoot the ball. He's big, too. And let's go back to what you were talking about their defense. Coach Ballard was mentioning that he felt the man-to-man defense was weak for Western Kentucky in some ways. They could get an advantage, but, you know, every coach is going to tell you got to highlight, but it's definitely an emphasis for Lutz today to defend.
Allen from the left wing. That's well off. Brewer able to save it. Cross-court pass, Hawkins, he got his man in the air. The floater popped out. Hawkins very proficient with that shot. Can't hit that time as Edelin distributes. Newman again from the right side. That's Second triple.
That's a tough one, AJ, right there. Pritchett got to get over there closer. He's got to. He saw it coming and then flew at him, and then plus he's given up 4 or 5 inches. So Newman's got a clean look if he can get it open.
Wilcox set to check into the next dead ball, as well as Christian Lander. Brewer attacking. Nearly turns it over and does.
Great hands right there by Newman. Something else that Western Kentucky was talking about in shoot around today is keep your hands up in traffic so you can deflect the ball.
Allen, physical drive, couldn't finish the bucket. Went straight into the chest.
The Kentucky transfer almost extended his arm, you know, but he definitely used his shoulder to clear some space.
Hawkins, it's been a factor here in the early going. Can't hit that floater. He's 2 for 6 now from the field.
I'd like to see a little bit more rebounding, especially down here on the offensive end. There's only one guy going for FIU.
Okay, got a piece of that underneath and then winds up with the loose ball. Looked like Allen might have a nice little wraparound layup there. Little KK helped influence the shot, and then Brewer is fouled by Edelin. So better offense there from Western Kentucky in that 4-minute stretch. 1-point game heading into the under 12. 14-13 here in Miami. Brandon Newman with a pair of triples, 8 points in 8 minutes here in the early going. Western Kentucky and FIU in a 1-point game. 11:43 remaining here in the first half. AJ Ricketts, Jacob Ridenauer. They're looking for, if this game was anything like the first time these two teams played in Diddle, we're going to get a good one. So far, 1-point game.
Absolutely, you nailed that one. It's 57.1% for FIU shooting from 3 right now. Lipscomb and Hawkins both knocking down 2. They're in the rebounding game at 7-7, but 45% from the floor from Western Kentucky. They're getting more action inside the arc, but it's what FIU's got to make baskets today with Dean out, you know, and missing Gittins and missing Abar. Those guys have got to shoot the ball from deep, and so far they're holding their own.
One of the 2 seniors honored tonight, Seth Pinckney, saddled on the bench right now with 2 fouls, remains on the bench after this most recent timeout. Jaden Brewer able to flick it up on the rim after picking up his dribble. The Panthers back up by 3.
Brewer did a great job right there to get foul up in the air and then step through. Really good move down there on the block.
McHenry scoreless thus far, and nearly 9 minutes of play. Hasn't taken a shot. He's surprised by that, Jacob, as Western turns it over again.
I am, because he hadn't got loose in transition, his biggest thing.
Wilcox, the nifty reverse. FIU up 5.
Key player right there, tallest guy on the floor right now with Pinckney with the 2 fouls with the 6'6". But yes, McHenry struggling to get to the rim.
Contested drive finish. Calabay will go to the line and 1.
The junior teammates with McHenry at Indian Hills Community College. Obviously, they're working there together, and both of those guys love to go at the rim. And here comes some help. 2 fouls with the big fella, and Pinckney's going to have to come in and try to stop some of that action in the paint for FIU.
What do you think of this move from Jeremy Ballard to put Pinckney in with 2 fouls?
A lot of coaches are against it, and it can be risky, you know, and you basically want to have a talk with him and tell him, hey, don't give up the foul. But he needs him in the paint right now. He knows the game's close. He wants to stay in it as long as he can and stay alive, missing his best player and one of the top players in the entire conference.
Don't forget about his offensive ability as well. Shoots 70% from the field.
Yes.
Doesn't put up a high volume of shots. Pridgett almost missed everything there. Brewer tried to save it. It will stay with FIU after the miss.
I think we're going to get a foul over here. Chris Hudson. It looked like it threw him out of bounds there, the push on the rebound. So
that is the 3rd team foul on Western Kentucky.
But you're right, AJ, with Pinckney in there, you've got a presence to throw the ball up in there, throw it at the rim. He's the biggest guy. He dunks it well, and as you said, he's well over 70% in his shooting, and he doesn't get a lot of looks, but you right there, hit him on the roll.
Got tripped by Fa.
It's 2 on Fa. We should be seeing him head to the bench in all likelihood, but
looks like Howard quickly off his seat.
I'm sure Pinckney would way rather rebound against Fa because Howard's got a lot more girth to his. He's a bigger, stronger guy and really likes to throw his weight around in there. So Pinckney's gonna have to do some work and stay in a stance on defense.
6'11", 250, big body to try to get some boards against. Brewer attacking over Howard off the window.
Nice take, Brewer with back-to-back big baskets for FIU.
Lander quickly on the other end. Floater misses everything. Brewer corrals the rebound. Hustling up the floor, a step through, whistle, and 2 free throws coming for a slashing Jaden Brewer.
Jaden Brewer's a really good-looking athlete, you know, and he is showing it as he cuts and dices and slices them. Here he is. Look at this play right here. Heading move, gets to the rim, throws it up high with a scoop shot so the defense couldn't get there and block it. Really smart play, and now he's going to head up to the free throw line and get him a couple more attempts. But talking about Howard, you know, Howard didn't start playing basketball until he was a sophomore in high school. We ended up going to Georgia first, transferred to Georgia Tech.
Right.
You know, he's played some high-level hoops if you think about where he's played, you know.
That was part of the strategy right away for Steve Lutz coming into Western Kentucky. Hit the portal hard. We obviously talked about Brandon Newman coming in from Purdue. Fa's a College of Charleston transfer. And, of course, Don McHenry came in from the junior college level, and Howard had the 3 years at Georgia Tech. Only averaged 4.5 points per game last year. He upped that to 10 points per game this season, playing a bigger role in Bowling Green. The Hilltoppers having trouble taking care of the basketball right now midway through the first half. 6th turnover.
They're like out of sync. Just like you can see it in the way they're moving on offense. They're not quite clicking. It's not the Hilltoppers we've seen of late that's clipped off these 2 road wins and 5 straight victories and beat some of the best teams in the country.
Remember, 105 points the first meeting. They're on pace for 60 right now, a quarter of the way through this one in Miami. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Pinckney couldn't finish it. How about Howard defending underneath?
Howard met him right up there and used his body just to block that thing, a big-time play.
Now Howard posting Pinckney up. Hook shot. Can't get the roll. Kravakovic coming in for the rebound. And a foul underneath on Howard.
You're talking about the score, AJ. You know, as we all talk about, Western Kentucky is leading the league in their pace, 80-plus points a game. They want a lot of points. And, you know, obviously FIU wants to score a lot because they love to press, but it's really in their favor today to hold them down and keep the score down a little bit. It plays in the favor of Coach Ballard.
All right. Jimmy Ballard trying to get everything he can from this group down the stretch, 9-19. At this juncture of the season, 4-9 in Conference USA play. They are 8-5 at home this year. We've mentioned the injuries. This has been hard to find a rhythm throughout the course of this season as OKK nearly followed the block with the dunk, couldn't finish. Western's had some nice defensive sequences the last few possessions.
Edlin is quick. You see how he had Patari, almost had Kravakovic to lose his footing and fall down.
Marshall into the corner, Edelin. No. Howard tried to tip it to a teammate, went straight to Lipscomb. The Toppers just 2 of 5 from the outside. Brewer really trying to get to that near side block. Can't connect quickly there.
Brewer had that luck early. He's attacking.
The dish, and Howard finishes at the rim.
Hey, really good lead right there by the freshman Edelin. Knew his teammate was with him, and that's obvious. You can tell they work on transition a lot, and they really work together in sync and leaving it for the bigs.
Yeah, that could be a cure for the offensive woes right now. Getting out in transition. Hawkins has missed his last couple from downtown. Brewer somehow saved that to Kravakovic. Hawkins into the corner. Kravakovic, 3!
Great ball movement. Everybody working together right there, and Hawkins to find him over in the corner, knowing his teammate was there for the shot.
Well, that nearly went through the basket underneath.
Is that a subtraction if it goes through?
I don't think that's what Allen was trying to do there. He just got caught underneath the basket. Lipscomb step back. Bang!
Heating up. Here comes the press. They're going to start trapping. I can't imagine they won't now with the way they're knocking these threes down.
Largest lead of the game for FIU at 10. OKK sends it away. Second chance, good by Howard.
Howard got away with a little shuffle right there. Instead of putting it on the floor, he moved his feet, but really good finish. Stayed up tall at the rim so it couldn't get blocked. OKK is really showing his athleticism in there, getting his hands everywhere and being active.
The pace of the game picking up a little bit the last few minutes. OKK finding his way to the block, got doubled, didn't expect Marshall.
Marshall with the good hands.
Allen 3. Raises off the rim and out of play.
Hey, that's a veteran move out there. Kravakovic knows there's a media timeout, lets it drop down. Look at this movement right here. Kicks it to the corner, Patar. He knocked down a bunch of threes up there last time. He's doing it again today.
.7:13 to play here in the first half. FIU with a 27-19 advantage over Western Kentucky here on ESPN+. Glad to have you with us in Miami. AJ Ricketts, Jacob Ridenauer. FIU just had its largest lead of the game at 10. 8 at this current moment. What stood out during this Panther surge right now?
Well, the first thing that jumps out to me is 15-12 on the boards. The smaller team is outworking the taller team to get rebounds, and Coach Ballard's got to be stoked about that. They're shooting 54.5 from 3. That's key when you're undermanned. You know, it's really easy to fall behind and not stay focused, but Coach Ballard has got his guys working hard, and it's also weird for a team like Western Kentucky when you know the best player's not playing, you can kind of step back a little bit and not play as hard.
Wilcox in the paint, circling his way around Howard and off the glass for two.
Hey, the senior, you know, like his minutes are up and he's really doing something. And here, like you said a minute ago in our last break, McHenry's still not really doing anything, controlling the game at all.
How can he assert himself more right now?
100%. He has got to attack. That is his game, and he's being passive at the top of the key.
Newman forces one up, can't get the bounce, tapped back to him, open mid-range jumper, that one's good.
If he sets his feet, Newman is cash money. There's no question about it. He's like an ATM spitting out buckets. But, you know, we'll get back to McHenry in a second, but McHenry has got to attack. That's his game. He's being passive.
Brandon Newman has experienced the highs and lows of college basketball the past few years. The high-level play of the #1 team at Purdue and those crushing NCAA tournament losses. He's contributing here in his senior year at Western. 5 seconds to shoot. Kravakovic off balance in the corner. No. For the offensive rebound. Nope. And that tips to Western. And a foul on the floor in the backcourt.
Yeah, tough break for Brewer right there. He's all over the rebound, doing his best. He's the only guy down there trying to get a basket, and Barry Mathis gets him for tugging the jersey, trying to get the rebound. You can't be mad at him, and I'm sure Coach Ballard's not right there where he's talking to him, but you can see. But here you got McHenry pushing the ball, and there you see the foul. But we're back to McHenry. In a lot of his games, he will just attack in traffic in a half-court set to suck the defense in and throw it up to the bigs, and he's not doing that right now. He's being kind of just laid back, almost like it's like a out-of-body experience. He's not the same hooper he's been, you know, for 28, 29 games.
I would be interested to know, I can't pull this up at the moment, but I'd be interested to know how many games Western has had this year, nearly 15 minutes through, where McHenry has not taken one shot.
The lack of shots is key, too. That's a good point. Not that he hasn't scored. He hasn't even tried a basket.
Well, Marshall got the steal, trying to save it. He does, and the lay-in before Kravakovic could get back.
That's a tough break. He jumped the passing lane. Like we talked about a little bit ago, meet your pass. Everybody better meet your pass or you're going to get a turnover, because both these teams right now are not necessarily desperate, but they're intense on doing what they need to do to win this game.
Those are the first points off turnovers for Western Kentucky tonight against FIU, giving it away 5 times.
That's good recovery by FIU, not to give up more than 20%. That's a pretty low rate.
7 to shoot. Lipscomb finds Hawkins mid-range. Got it.
That's a great cleanup right there, because Lipscomb's pass got deflected, and Hawkins did the smart move and met the ball and still got the jumper off.
There's McHenry trying to get going. Missed the shots.
Great contest by Wilcox right there and a cleanup by Hawkins.
Lipscomb puts it through. Timeout, Steve Lutz.
I guarantee you right now, Ballard wishes he could just play the whole game and keep hooping right now, because he is not going to want the clock to stop, because these guys are feeling it.
34-23. The Panthers have hit 5 of their last 6 shots, and I'll tell you something that's drastically different from game 1 between these two to right now is what FIU is doing defensively. They're not pressing. They're not trapping. Western Kentucky's not having as many opportunities. The Panthers are hitting shots.
Exactly, and right there you see that wide open look, Lipscomb drilling it. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast with Arturo Dean out today. They have to step up, and these other guards have got to make shots. But just what you're saying, you're right. There's not a ton of pressing going on out there. It's not an out-of-control scramble. It's just a good, solid defense, and that's causing the deflections and the turnovers. But, you know, FIU is making an extra move, like staying in there. Hawkins staying in there and rebounding just on this last possession. He could have started to run out or leaked out, but he's staying in there and giving effort.
It's so interesting when, the pressing nature of FIU and the traffic, that is their identity. That is at the core of everything they do. But Jeremy Ballard's making the adjustment today.
It's good coaching when you know you don't have what you need.
McHenry swatted away by Pinckney. It'll stay with Western. Second block for Pinckney. Remember, playing with 2 fouls.
Absolutely, and a smart move by Pinckney to stay on the floor, not to buy the pump fake, and then just get the flex. You're 7 foot plus. Just stay there and block it, baby.
And a pair of shots by McHenry the last minute or so. Another rejection underneath. Lipscomb all by himself. No, missed it short. Marshall trying to get Western going quickly here. Panthers got back, and he threw it over here to us. All right, here we go.
I almost had it, AJ. I tried.
You didn't get up for it, man.
That was a lazy
effort.
You're correct.
You got to get off your feet.
Coach Lutz and Coach Ballard are going to light me up at halftime. But right there, it's just what you said. They've got them out of sync. The defense is different. The use of those traps and the approach that Coach Ballard's using this first half to just kind of defend. And then you got Pinckney in there right now. He's sucking it up right now with his 2 fouls. He's blocked 2 shots back-to-back. His 3rd leading shot blocker in the league. And he's raising his average today.
Newman has nearly half of Western Kentucky scoring with 4 minutes to go. Brewer, that's a difficult shot going away from the basket. Pinckney, no on the follow.
Very difficult shot, kind of out of whack.
Eaglin pushing it forward and hanging and hitting is Tegan Moore, the freshman.
Smart play to stay out of the way to let the freshman get to the rim. And I respect the ref for not putting that 3rd foul on Pinckney right there where he did not deserve to get called for one.
Tegan Moore committed when Rick Stansberry was still the coach. Kravakovic drove right by him for the easy bucket.
Hey, heady move right there by the veteran.
Steve Lutz was talking about it. He said, look, Moore had no hesitation when we came in as new coaching staff. He said he's a Western Kentucky guy through and through. He believes in Western. He's become a fan favorite in his freshman year and got the last bucket, then surrendered one to Kravakovic. Taking his man off the dribble. He's a shooter and a slasher here tonight, 36-25. Western Kentucky, currently 3rd in the Conference USA standings, find themselves down by 11 here in Miami. There won't be any chance to move up to 1st or 2nd. They lose their final 2 games. They might be compromised to drop down to 4th. It looks like they're going to be set for 3rd in the conference, the 3 seed in the Conference USA tournament. What has not gone right here for the Hilltoppers in the first half?
Well, they're like not getting their runouts. You know, like they, as Coach Lutz says, they love to attack the rim. They don't want to stop till the defense stops them. But right now, you got a little, you know, almost like a zone action going right here from Coach Ballard, and it's keeping them from getting to the rim.
Hallenbay can't hit the left-handed shot underneath.
Pinckney is making his presence known. I love it for the senior. You know, it's not that he's playing off emotion. He's just making good plays.
There'll be a foul on Western. That'll put FIU at the free throw line. That's a great point. Pinckney is scoreless. He's played 6 minutes, but it really feels like he's been a big factor here in this first half. He has 3 rebounds and 3 blocks.
The 3 blocks are crucial because they're bunnies that these guys are about to put in the rim, and he's just sending them back, you know. But his looks at the rim have been close. There's been a lot of contact on all his looks at the basket. He hadn't had a clean look yet. But, you know, but he is stepping up, and I love his defense. He's not backing down from the physicality of Western Kentucky.
It's not just the blocks. It's fronting the post,
yes,
taking opportunities away from Howard, influencing other shots. Look at him right now.
Yes, the contest he did on that layup a little bit ago in traffic.
And the box, you know, like, out.
He talled up.
FIU.
He talls up. He's talling up and not bending over. That's what all the bigs make mistakes and bend over to block the shot. He's staying straight up, doing his job, and you can't ask for any more. He's got to be getting winded. He looks a little tired out there right now.
Every reason to be.
Suck it up for 22 minutes and 27 seconds, big fella.
Hawkins attacking. Great dish into the corner. Lipscomb can't hit. Long Karam. Edelin. Bounce pass a little behind Lander. Can't finish. The follow is good. Hallenbay there.
Great contest right there. Good follow by Hallenbay. That's the one thing Western Kentucky does is they follow their teammates to the rim for the putbacks. But it's really good contest. Patar's got to block out the trail man so he can't get that shot.
Hallenbay coming off a scoreless game against La Tech. Panthers turned it over.
Kick.
Kickballs.
Yep, so it's got to be on someone here. With the Panthers, they were about to run out with it, but they called the whistle for hitting the foot. But it unfortunately puts McHenry back in for FIU, which, you know, puts their best player on the floor. But as we talked about, he's kind of non-existent right now, especially in the scoring category compared to usual.
Panthers shooting 43% from the field, 7 of 15 from distance. Western Kentucky just a 38% clip right now, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc.
The other one is a 1 for 4 from the free throw line, AJ.
Howard, that's a good looking hook shot, got position underneath. Jerry Ballard will call timeout.
Howard is a presence in there when he settles himself. You know, he can just finish right there at the rim. It's so easy.
We're talking about where Western is in the Conference USA standings. Look, 6-4 on the road this season. Jacob, they're the only Conference USA team with a winning record on the road. You've been on staffs at Auburn, Florida State, hostile environments in the SEC, the ACC. Well, what does it take
right there, what you saw Howard do right there, go into paint, settle yourself, and finish at the rim. You've got to make plays like that. You have to establish yourself in the paint, but you also got to go in mentality. It's hard to win on the road in every league, in every conference, and like you've got to go do the little things right. You can't miss the easy stuff. And if FIU wants to win this game, they can't let them get the easy stuff. And if Western Kentucky wants to win, they're going to have to make those layups and really not get lulled to sleep on their jump shots because they're a finish at the rim team. They're really not a three-point
This has been
team.
a league where it has been exceptionally difficult to win on the road. Through the first month of the season, there were less than a dozen road wins. Pinckney's fouled.
Let's see if they get him the shot, but it's going to be 1-1 at minimum. Because it looked like he was giving, if they're giving him the shot, I like that. He was going to the rim and kind of got spun around with the contact. Back to your question, you know, there's a lot of hostile places. In the SEC, you know, you got Arkansas, you got it at Alabama. Now Auburn, where I worked, is one of the toughest places to play. You know, Kentucky is historically unbelievable. But even going to Mississippi State and playing at the Hump and Ole Miss, then you go to the ACC, we got Cameron Indoor Stadium, you got Virginia Tech, you know, you can just, the list goes on. Carolina, even though it's wine and cheese, they're not wine and cheese anymore. They got really good, they got their fans real close and the students real close. But you've got to do what you do. You can't not be yourself on the road, and that's where Western Kentucky's off right now. They're not being themselves. That's a compliment to Coach Ballard and what he's doing with FIU to disrupt the regular flow of Western Kentucky. It's not just Western Kentucky's not playing. It's got, you got a good coach and move on both sides. We're going to see where Lutz steps it up.
Love to see the halftime adjustments that Steve Lutz may make here. Calambay, coast to coast, and there's another block. Brewer that time, sending it away. Impressive plays at the rim here for FIU defensively with just over a minute to go here in the first half. Okeke, muscling. Got it to go off glass.
I love it. You know, he's been trying to dunk everything. He got smart right there and did a couple step throughs and just banked it off the glass. Old school hoops right there.
Edelin all the way, no. Late whistle for a pair of free throws here.
AJ, KK right here, look at this. He comes in, heady, keeps control, dribbles in there, pump fakes the big fella. Howard doesn't leave his feet. Howard's got to jump. You can't just wave at a guy. You jump up there and contest it. Don't jump into him, just jump straight up. That shot may not go in, and he gets a piece of it maybe if he leaves the floor. The thing that's different about this, and you're kind of seeing it in the way this game's going, I think of like Western Kentucky, being from Bowling Green, the Corvette National Museum. They're like a big muscle car V8 Corvette. They're big, strong, muscular, attacking. And you got South Beach with FIU like a bunch of little Teslas darting around real quick, accelerating real quick everywhere, trying to make plays. And it's a unique concept in this game. It's fun to watch.
Do the Teslas have good acceleration these days?
Yeah, they're pretty quick, man. Mine was 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Hawkins popped out. Oh, the follow from Okeke. And the Panthers lead by 13, largest lead of the half.
You gotta love a putback. My goodness, Okeke. He missed that earlier and finished it this time. Howard's making this felt down there.
Trying to get 2 points back quickly. Flicked it up. Calambay the follow. Goaltends. I don't know if that was...
I think it's going to be here. That's a rebound. That's a good mark. I love it.
Not sure if that was going to trickle off, but still,
right
here.
Look at that shot. Okeke just right there. When you just get up there, put yourself in a position and just throw it down, big fella. Bring the rim with you. But right there, Barry Matz has circled it. They're going to check it here. That could have potentially been a rebound that was deflected, but we'll have to find out.
8 seconds left in the half. Hawkins navigates inside. Got the roll. 3 seconds to play. McHenry at the buzzer. All nets. And that will end
a break right there.
First half here in Miami.
Break right there with McHenry. I thought he kind of carried it, but it didn't matter. Nothing happened. Nobody can be mad. But a frenetic in there to the first half. A lot up and down. It's really, we haven't seen a lot of transition. And, you know, there's the senior Pinckney going to the locker room. He's got to be fired up. He's had a great first half, just helping his team carry this 13-point lead.
Western Kentucky gives up 74 a game. Panthers on pace for 88. We're through 20 minutes in Miami. 44-31 our score here in South Florida. Second look at the goaltends as we go to break. Western Kentucky with work to do in the second half. Let's see here, partner.
The question is it on the rim? I think it kind of came off the rim right there. It's a really close call. You know, they're going to get to watch it 10 or 15 times from every angle possible. And so they're going to get it right. That's a good thing. A great crew. So they're going to clean this up and get it right. But that's just a tough, weird action, you know, like it went up, it came off, and it was attempted again. Here we're going to get another look.
Yeah, we'll stay here until the officials are able to make a determination.
Howard's so strong in there, holding on to the ball.
Calambay follows.
It was potentially over the front of the rim right there. That's what they're really going to look at. It's the angle right there. Is it more over the rim or outside the rim? That's what they're going to tell us. And we just got the signal.
That will stand. So 44-31, our score at the end of the half. It'd be 31 because they left the 2 points on the board, I believe, so they won't be adding 2 more. So yeah, 44-31. And if that's incorrect, we'll tell you right when we come back. But I think it is. Yeah, they already had put the 2 points up there. 13-point Panther lead. Let's take a break here in Miami. Halftime in Sound Florida. Panthers up 44-31. Just about set to begin second half action here at the Ocean Bank Convocation Center. FIU up 44-31 on Western Kentucky. As we take a look at the first half numbers, Panthers nearly 50% from the field, 7 first half three-pointers, and the rebounding edge. Jeremy Ballard has to like what he saw in the first half.
Absolutely, and you've got right here the 7 turnovers to 6 turnovers. Ballard's got to be fired up about that. I'm sure he would rather see more turnovers over here for Western Kentucky. That's his style, and I'm sure Coach Lutz is not happy with the turnovers, and I know Coach Lutz is not happy with the rebound. You know, because he's a team that dominates the rebounding, and I think they're leading the league in rebounding. You know, between Newman and Fa, they both are like right at 6 rebounds a game, 5.8. And big-time offensive rebounding team, too. So it's like, you got to give kudos to Ballard. His game plan's working so far. And Lutz, I know he said a few things to make some corrections. He's a great coach. He's had a lot of good mentors. And so he's look what he did at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He's going to try to get these guys right coming out of halftime.
It's funny. Western Kentucky already has more offensive rebounds still than the entire game against FIU the first time around. There weren't that many offensive rebounds to get in that game for Western. They shot 72% from the field in the second half. There was nothing to clean up on the glass. They were making everything off the press. Hawkins can't float it in to start the second half.
Now, Fa's been out. You know, he had the 2 fouls. They never put him back in. So he may make an adjustment. It could change the game a little bit because he is a different post player than Howard. And he's one of the elite rim runners in Conference USA.
This is Marshall. Taking Lipscomb off the dribble. Hawkins came to help. Newman can't put in his third 3, and there's an offensive board right off the bat from Fa.
That's what he does. He gets tall and just...
That's a travel on Tegan Moore.
Great call. I like that call because you can't call that on either one of those guys. He kind of slid his feet because Pinckney just did a good job backpedaling with him, staying up tall. The Fa right there making his presence known, getting that rebound just right on cue. I feel like I must have tapped him on the shoulder and asked him to get a rebound for me.
Trying to set the tone here in the second half.
You mentioned that meeting at half court. Newman was the one in the middle trying to get his teammates on the same page.
You mentioned his collegiate basketball experience. Anytime you spend that much time on a program of the caliber of Purdue, the lessons you can take moving forward. Good tip there underneath by Calambay. Hilltopper is running. Newman tried to lay it off, and it was Pinckney who got his hands in.
Good hands right there with the big fella, keeping them low and getting in the passing lane.
Hawkins deep. Yes! Another triple for Javante Hawkins. He's in double figures now.
I love to see the jump shot fall, baby.
Marshall, 2 quick ones on the other ends.
Don't fall asleep because that's what they do. The pace, they want to push it. They want 80 points, and they're at 33. They got a lot of work to do to get there.
That was more of the style of Western Kentucky basketball I'm used to seeing. Beat FIU down the floor. Lipscomb now. The top scoring offense in the league. Nearly top 40 in the country. Kovacevic in a tough spot. 6 to shoot. Wilcox. Off balance pass. Pinckney finishes.
Wilcox loses his footing and it's got the heady move to pass it around to Pinckney for the finish. Best defense of the game, I think, in a half-court situation right there for Western Kentucky.
Callambay, no, the follow from Fa.
2 or 3 possessions now, he's got 2 offensive rebounds. Fa is a presence in the paint, and it's like he's not that big, he's not that strong. He's just one of those high-level rebounders that understands where to be.
9th in the league in rebounding. Kravakovic, difficult shot, no, off target as Callambay gets the board.
I'd have liked to see Pinckney in the paint, but he was at the top of the key.
That'll be a foul on Pinckney, his 3rd.
He pushed him in the back. You know, he was a little frustrated because Fa had him sealed. He's got to stay there and wait on it. Don't make that bump. Here, Hawkins sets him up. Pinckney's got the guys behind him on the screen, and he just dribbled it around and got a clean look.
Fa can't finish. What do you think about Edelin starting this half as Kravakovic travels? The Panthers turn it over. Edelin getting the playing time to start this half. Dominic Henry's on the bench.
It's odd, right? It's obvious he likes what Edelin's bringing to the table right now. That's a really tough break right there for Kravakovic. He really could have gotten a foul, not on himself, but he really kind of drew a foul because it's like you pull the old chair out from under the guy, which is what happened, and he fell down and got the walk. But it is odd Edelin in the game.
OKK, nice defense. Callambay couldn't finish.
These guys for FIU have the post players I'm so proud of today. They're playing phenomenal.
Nice dish. Wilcox, another bucket underneath. Dante Wilcox giving FIU great minutes tonight.
He is. It's almost like stealing minutes, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just he's just giving such high-level production in his minutes.
6 points now on 3 of 4 shooting. Marshall trying to angle to the rim. Couldn't sneak it up. Fa again. Another board. Another bucket for Babacar Fa.
That's their offense, right? They want to drive from the side, from the wing. They either come from the top of they'll seal and ride you up a little bit on that low block and then attack off the hip of the guy setting the screen, which is really not a screen. He's just posted up. And it's exactly what they did. Marshall attacked and missed it. The Fa right there for another offensive rebound. And if you're KK, you've got to foul him. Don't give it the N1.
Right.
Like make his arm hurt.
It feels like Babacar Fa is doing everything he can right now to keep Western Kentucky afloat.
See that put back right there. Fa is giving us the flex. I love it right there. The young fella letting us know he's making his presence in the paint. But if you're FIU, don't let him flex. You flex back.
Fa with 6 points. Can't finish with the free throw, but another offensive board. OKK, another block. Repelled. Callambay got him in the air. It's a 4-point possession.
Great patience by Callambay to stay in there in ball fake with OKK. OKK did a great job, but just gave up eventually and jumped.
Nice sequence there for a little momentum for the Hilltoppers. McHenry's back in as well. So is Kravakovic after a quick talk with Jeremy Ballard after his turnover. 10 seconds on the shot clock here.
They need to reverse the ball, AJ. They're stuck on one side.
OKK spinning. Pass read by McHenry. Off to the races here. McHenry! Welcome to the show.
He showed up today on that one, baby. Finally made it to the show. Shot that pass lane, saw it coming, laid back in the weeds, and just did what he does. Took it to the front of the rim and dunked it home.
That's a way to get your first bucket. It's a 6-0 run over the last 45 seconds for the Hilltoppers. Kravakovic sealed off. 8 to shoot. Another good Western half-court defensive series here. 4 seconds. Hawkins, fadeaway. Skips off.
I wish he'd used that ball screen a little closer and stayed on the hip up there to got a better look to turn it down.
Newman bouncing it inside. Callambay on OKK. No, and Fa has another. Timeout, Panthers. Here comes Western Kentucky on an 8-0 run.
Fa is a man among boys on the offensive glass down there. He's just got a knack for getting up there and being all over it, and just, it's a big-time play right there. Didn't get the goaltend. He waited on it to tip it in.
The momentum starting to shift. McHenry's in the score column. Fa's making plays. It's an 8-point game. Here comes Western. FIU athletic director and head football coach Scott Carr and Mike McIntyre taking in this one. Mac showing off his jump shot form, too.
I love a football coach showing basketball moves. Scott Carr right there, great hire by FIU. Got lineage in his blood of athletic directors. Did a great job as deputy up there at Auburn University. Got a lot of good football and basketball knowledge. That's a football basketball school, and I'm sure that's what FIU would like to have.
And the Panthers find themselves now just 8 after 16 less than 2 minutes ago. Hawkins can't get 3 back. Then Western Kentucky pushing once more. It's his Marshall. McHenry wants it, steps into it. Can't hit, and Pinckney coming to crash the boards. The foul away from the basketball will be on Jaden Grant. How has Western Kentucky quickly flipped the switch here? Tell me after the break.
I got you.
the quick this is a media timeout. Yeah, now they're walking to the bench. All right, 15 minutes to play. We'll get into that after the quick back-to-back timeouts here in Miami. 51-43 as we take a look at the league standings, and you see Western Kentucky game and a half above Liberty, too far behind La Tech or Sam Houston to catch up to 1 or 2 spots. This game has plenty of significance for FIU, especially with UTEP and New Mexico State. Their final 2 opponents of the regular season, albeit on the road, but a huge game here today to try to make that task a little easier.
Absolutely. If FIU gets this one and they can pick up, do some work in the next 2, it moves them up into the 8th, or 7th spot, which keeps them away from the #1 seed, right? You want to get away from the #1 seed to the 7th spot.
And you want to avoid playing in that 8-9 first-round game. Yes. You have to play an extra game. If you're 7 or higher, you start your tournament on Wednesday in the quarterfinals. Only need to win 3 games in 3 days.
And Western, AJ, would way rather finish 2nd or 3rd, not 4th.
Absolutely.
They don't want to deal with La Tech.
Marshall, no. Brewer coming down to crash the boards. Pushing it up the floor, tried to force it inside to Pinckney, went off the thigh of a defender. Good pass inside, Fa, pump fake, out of play. It'll stay with Western Kentucky.
Fa, you just said Fa, sorry.
Yes.
That's the difference in the game right now.
Yeah.
The first half, he had 2 points, no rebounds, and 2 fouls, okay? In the first 5 minutes, Fa just scores a basket. Now he's got 8 points. He's 4 for 5 from the floor. He's got 5 rebounds. That's why Western Kentucky has taken control of this game.
It's a 10-0 run now over the last 2.5 minutes for the Hilltoppers. 16 points down to 6.
FIU's got to stay patient. They need to get a basket and settle down.
Brewer fouled. FIU is trying to get anything right now, any points in any fashion. Will get to the free throw line, and this is concerning for the Panthers, who are seeing another opponent come back here in Miami. You see Fa put that.
That's too easy
layup.
right there.
Yeah.
Like, Fa can't just flash like that. You've got to get in front of that, stay between the man and the ball. That's how he got that wide open look. And down here, we're talking about they got to get a play. Brewer didn't have anything, but he went to the rim and drew the foul. Now go get your bunnies at the free throw line and get your rhythm back.
Brewer misses the last 2 home games for FIU. It's Liberty. Panthers led by 14. Flames came back, took a lead late in the second half. FIU was able to respond, get a key win. 2 days later, Jacksonville State, a 13-point lead in the second half. And the Gamecocks came back quickly and ended up winning that game.
I would put some of that on, like, become tired. Like, they're short. They're short 3 starters, right? They were short 2 starters in those other 2 games. So it's just hard to stay on pace for 40 minutes.
You felt Western Kentucky would wake up at some point as Howard barreling inside of the hook shot falls.
Now that's a big time play. That looks like a guy from Georgia or Georgia Tech. And by the way, Howard is the guy that played at both those schools. Really strong move in the paint.
Hawkins, 3 from the left side. Panthers needed it.
That's like a Band-Aid on a gunshot right there. He's going to have to get a couple more of those.
16 now for Hawkins. 6 of 15 from the field. Howard going to work and going to the line.
Tough one. It could go either way right there. Howard's moving. Pinckney's with him.
Is that 4 on? Is that on Pinckney? That's 4.
Look right here. Hawkins gets clean. He's great at taking that handoff at the screen and just jacking it, set feet, in rhythm. That's his best game. He's got such a smooth, quick rattlesnake release. He just throws it up there. He's fun to watch shoot the ball.
That was on Pinckney. So with his 4th foul, Dante Wilcox will sub in as Steve Lutz looks on.
13:37, there's an asterisk for the flow of this game. Pinckney's really established himself defensively and affected the play in the first half. And now he's going to have to sit for a little bit, I'm sure. Coach Ballard's going to steal as many minutes as possible.
You want to keep in mind, too, just the mentality that guys like Pinckney and Hawkins may have tonight. Final home game, such a long, decorated career here at FIU for the both of them. There's an element of emotional fatigue that comes in with that.
Sorry, partner, I didn't mean to step on you, but our minds were clicking in the exact same rhythm. You know, mom and dad's here, and everything's, you know, you got the whole family, and you're right, there's so many emotions in a senior night.
Lead stands at 7. Hawkins into the corner. Brewer for 3. Oh, he knocked it down. Jaden Brewer from the outside.
Big baskets. That double-digit lead makes you feel so much better. You got a little bit more rhythm in your step.
Jaden Brewer was only 5 for 24 this season from distance before that shot. A 20% clip. Big-time 3. It's a 10-point lead.
He shot it like he wasn't even thinking about it.
Wilcox trying to deny Howard. Meets him outside the block. Allen for 3. Oh, he puts it through right after. A long shot. 8-point game.
He barely had his toe on there, AJ. He tried to step back. You can see he wanted that 3 and just couldn't get it quite far enough back.
Pridgett. Yes! The shot making here in Miami starting to make itself felt. 61-50.
We expected some energy and fun, and we're getting it right now. It's up and down track meet.
Here's another 3. Back and forth we go. 61-53 as Allen connects that time.
Allen, 30 points in that last set matchup, 9 of 11. You know, he had to come in this game feeling it, just wanting to shoot the ball.
Brewer wants another from the opposite corner, left it short that time.
Nobody's going to the glass right now for FIU, so there's just no chance to get an offensive rebound if nobody's going in there.
McHenry, no. The iron unkind. McHenry still with just 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Bit of an NBA pace to this right now. Pridgett walked. The Western's hit 4 of its last 5 from the field. FIU's been treading water, finds themselves up 8 at the under 12 timeout. Shot making's been impressive here in Miami. Western Kentucky, Jacob putting an emphasis on getting inside, finding their bigs. Howard underneath with some nice post moves. Babacar crashing the glass. That has spurred this second half comeback here.
Absolutely. You can see it in their face, especially in the paint. Faw's trying to get every rebound every time that ball comes off the rim. He's on the bench right now, so that's a blessing for FIU. But Howard is a different player right now offensively down there deep in the post. He's just posting up, putting Wilcox on his back. Wilcox, you know, he's given up 3 or 4 inches to Wilcox is. So Howard's got the advantage. He's got to feel confident just throwing up a little hook shot.
We talked about the rebounding edge for FIU, +2 in that first half. Western Kentucky out-rebounding the Panthers 13-5 here in the second as Tegan Moore is going to get to the free throw line.
He's gone like the wind. That rebounding advantage is what that was. I heard it blow a few minutes ago when Faw got in the game.
There it goes.
But Wilcox right there, he's inside the circle. You got to either jump or get out. He didn't really foul him, but the rule is if you make contact with the defensive player in there, and Wilcox is in there, heady move by a freshman. That's not even a rule in high school. Moore goes in there, Tegan Moore, and gets the foul.
Moore played for the same AAU coach as former Western Kentucky guard Davion McKnight, who was an all-conference guard recently for the Hilltoppers. Steve Lutz, we talked to him yesterday, that he was the toughest guy on the floor the last few games.
Look at him. Like, he does not look like an 18-year-old freshman. You know, and he didn't go to prep school. He's straight out of high school. He's a good-looking athlete, 6'6", great body. I think he's 6'4". Make it 5. 6'5", 21.
Just over 11 minutes left here.
I like OKK back in the game for FIU.
8 seconds to shoot. He's at the perimeter right now. Handoff to Kravakovic. Gave it away. Good hands by Allen. Allen driving on Grant. No, another offensive board. Allen fouls.
OKK from behind, reached over, but he not on OKK. He's giving it to, I think he just put it on Grant.
Even something as simple as a dribble handoff becoming a bit more compromised right now for the Panthers offensively.
Absolutely. Right now, Western Kentucky is trying to blow up every situation on offense. They cranked it up. Like the hedge, with their hedge, usually they're just trying to make you pull your dribble back. Now they're trying to turn you over almost. They're trying to rip it from you, which is what happened right here for KK. They blasted him on that hedge and just ripped it out and just bobbled that pass, and then they cooked it up, dove on the floor. Freshman Edelin dove on the floor and got it.
Allen, his best game this season was against FIU. He had 30 points in that first matchup, just 6 tonight on 2 of 8 shooting. A couple there, poor pass from Hawkins, out of play, off of FIU.
You get the feeling right now, it's like holding on by a thread a little bit for FIU. Western is slowly getting control. Here's the press.
Off a 7-0 Western run, Moore brings it down, and the Hilltoppers set up the offense. And Edelin back in, McHenry on the bench. Edelin has OKK matched onto him, goes inside to Howard, 5 to shoot. Howard, another hook shot, and he puts it through.
Hey, he gets away with it, but he like chicken wings you right in the chest right before he goes up. Way to clear space by Howard and get that shot.
From 16 down to 2. OKK saved it from going out of play. He forces it up and will get to the line.
Howard's like, I didn't do anything, but he bumped him on the elbow as he tried to extend. That's a no-brainer here for our officiating crew. Barry Mathis on top of it. Look at Howard right here. He got Wilcox on his hips, and he bumps him right there and just clears his space and tosses up. His hook shot's falling nice here in the second half for Howard. Allen still struggling. He got the 30 points up there in Bowling Green, and he really hadn't got a rhythm tonight. He got 7 points, but that's 23 short.
Well, if you told Western Kentucky fans with less than 10 minutes to play, if Allen and McHenry had combined for 9 points and still a 1-possession game, probably would be a little confused, but take that.
I would definitely agree with you.
Look, FIU's last in the league, but they've played teams tough here at home as this one's thrown out. Panthers starting to provide some full court traffic pressure for the first time tonight, and Western Kentucky gives it away.
They're mixing it up on them a little bit. You know, they kind of stayed out of the press, and now they just put it in. Edelin, the freshman, kind of like wigged out when they turned to him and threw it out of bounds.
Hawkins gets fouled, 13 foul, as Edelin reached in.
You know, it's one of those things, 6 fouls for FIU, 3 fouls for Western. The officials, they're vets. You got to get them close when they're happening, you know. Try not to affect the play. Every coach thinks that's what's happening, I would say. I don't know if that's truly the facts, but all coaches, me, one of them, it's like, hey, come on now.
Hawkins sent away by Moore.
The freshman making a play.
Western Kentucky trying to earn win number 20 for the 48th time in the history of the program. Only 6 other programs in America have that many 20-win seasons. Inside, Calabe lost it. It'll stay with the Hilltoppers. 15 on the shot clock. Grant and Brewer will re-enter for FIU.
AJ, you're hitting on something big right there. There's a ton of history at Western Kentucky. They're a basketball school. Like, there's no questions asked.
This has been too long of an NCAA tournament drought in their mind since 2008, the last time.
And it's like they have a huge fan base. They love their team.
Yep. 2013, I should say. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Grant able to get the loose ball. Pushing up the floor. Numbers here. Lob. Brewer, yes. Got the roll.
Not what you expected, but he was heady enough to keep his hands up there and lay it in. He didn't get a clean catch.
Not the way he drew it up, but he'll take the points. Allen inside. Howard wants it. Quick spin. 2 free throws coming up with 8:49 to play. McHenry and Newman to enter after this free throw. This
is so like uncharacteristic of most games for Western Kentucky. It's a half-court game right now for them. They're just bringing it down and going into paint. And here Brewer with the pass. Look at there. The way he stayed with it and just, you know, a lot of kids are just trying to dunk it and let it back rim out of nowhere. I love the way he got it in the rim because those baskets are important right now. Every point is crucial for the Panthers if they want to win this game on senior night.
Big free throws here for Howard. He rattles in the first. I mentioned that 2008 tournament year probably because it was such a memorable one for Western Kentucky. Remember Courtney Lee guiding the Sun Belt champions. They won 19 of their final 20 games on that Sun Belt championship run to make the Sweet 16.
That was a crazy good team.
I'd love to get back to that kind of verve in Bowling Green, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. The Hilltoppers, they still wear their t-shirts and their hats, but they'd way rather be wearing it with a little NCAA logo on the side.
Brewer goes back to Jaden Lipscomb. Well, Steve Lutz took Corpus Christi to back-to-back NCAA tournaments in the Southland. We'll love to do the same here with Western Kentucky and CUSA. Brewer spinning, floating, finishing.
Brewer's bringing a lot to the table today. And you're talking about the Corpus Christi. He loaded up on transfers when he got that job. This year, he's got 10 transfers on this team, the most transfers of any team in the country.
That went off Shane Land, the official, and it's going to be Panther basketball.
You know, you don't know what to do. It hardly ever happens when it hits the ref. If you watch Western Kentucky just quit playing like they thought it was going to go out of bounds. But got to play.
Can't blame James. Just where the ball bounced. No time to get out of the way.
The ref's just supposed to stay neutral. He did what he's supposed to. He just didn't move.
Steve Lutz had no problem with what happened there. 6-point Panther lead. Grant's got tripped. Fourth team foul on Western.
McHenry got him on a little trip right there. That's so frustrating for players and it's fans of your team. Like, you got to call a foul when the feet come together. And you know he didn't trip him on purpose, but it happens, and you know it's an advantage. So you got to call it the right way.
Lipscomb flashing, firing. Oh, he hit it. Lipscomb from the suburbs, 69-60.
Yeah, I wouldn't quote a suburb, but I don't know any of them down here, but that was from deep, baby. He shot it from my hotel up there at the Dolphin Mall.
We'll have to talk about Miami Lakes, Hialeah.
Thank you, AJ.
We'll get you a couple. 69-60, under 8 to play. Newman answers on the other end.
Cutting it to 6. It's staying right there. They're staying in it. FIU staying in the game, but Western is not going away. They are determined to get this victory.
Newman with 13 now. Ends a nearly 3-minute field goal drought for the Hilltoppers. Bounced inside, out of play. Will stay with the Panthers. So we hit the under 8 timeout. Tension starting to rise here in Miami. Panthers clinging to a 6-point lead. Newman's done the job so far tonight for the Tops. 6-point game. Big shot making from Jaden Lipscomb tonight. 15 points, 5 of 8 from the field, and all of his buckets are from distance tonight. 15 points in 25 minutes. The Panthers maintaining this 6-point edge. Western Kentucky has got within 2 since going down 16. FIU has it at 6.
You know, the Arturo Dean injury that's got him out of the game today has really put Coach Ballard and the FIU in a bind. But like we're saying here, Lipscomb's 15, Brewer's 13, Hawkins 16. They're making threes. It's keeping them in the game, and it literally has them in the lead right now.
Jacksonville State has one tonight as well. UTEP currently at Liberty. Grant's going to fire from 3. Missed everything. OKK trying to save it. Finds Lipscomb. Wants another. Missed it at the shot clock. How about that rebound from Allen right there? He's in a tough spot and found McHenry. My goodness. Now Marshall running. Step through. Marshall off the window.
Marshall with an athletic long step, stepping through the traffic. Good finish at the rim.
4-point game.
Got to give Allen credit down here for staying alive with that ball and not getting a tie-up.
Hawkins inside. OKK takes a dribble. Fouled.
I don't blame Allen for being a little frustrated because it was kind of question. It depends on your angle, but good play by OKK to grab himself up and go up strong and not just lose the ball in traffic. Look at this. Allen, smart move, get it to McHenry. McHenry doing what he does, attacking the rim, sees Marshall. Marshall with a step through, goes right by Hawkins.
First assist of the game for McHenry. An incredible job by Allen. He took advantage of the good fortune of the rebound coming right at him in the corner while he was on his back.
And it was a bang-bang play because, like, FIU had to jack it quick, you know, because the shot clock was expiring, and he was heading to dive on the floor for the ball and then not to roll over. Really smart play. Kentucky transfer, man. Not because of Kentucky, but he's a basketball guy.
McHenry takes Grant off the dribble. No, followed by Marshall on the slam. One possession game.
Hello, Miami. Good gracious, Marshall making his presence known these last 2 plays.
Struggled shooting over the last 3 games, 2 of 18 from the field, but nothing more high percentage than a play like that. Just over 6 minutes to go. Provocapic lost it. Allen took it away. Western Kentucky can tie it. McHenry off to Allen. Ball fake. 3 for the tie. Got it! Allen knocks us up at 70.
Big shot from the big guard. Right there, shooting it like he's in Falmouth, Kentucky, back home in his stomping grounds. And Coach Ballard gonna get him one. Gotta stop this pace right now. It is flowing directly to Western Kentucky.
Dante Allen from downtown in Western Kentucky has erased a 16-point second half deficit. Have hit 4 of their last 5 shots and have all the momentum right now.
Look at this, Allen with a ball fake, sidesteps and just drains the 3 to tie the game right here at 70-70. Big time play.
5:45 to play. If you're FIU, you're shell-shocked here. You're probably a little exhausted playing without Arturo Dees, Deshaun Giddens, Mo Sanogo, and Jonathan Abar as well. What is Jeremy Ballard telling his team in the huddle right now?
5 minutes and 45 seconds. That's all I ask for. You know, guys, fight through it. Do what you got to do. Don't break down on the fundamentals. You know, stay with it. Keep rebounding. And that's kind of, you're right. You nailed it when you said they're tired. That's what happens. These guys have played their tails off. You know, Pinckney's coming back in. He's going to have to do his job like he did to start the game. You know, Wilcox has got a ton of minutes out here today. You can see he's winded at times, and he's not running the floor as hard as he was earlier in the game. But what's really impressive, the first 5 minutes of the game, we were worried about they were going to stay on pace. There's 5 minutes and 45 seconds left, and it's 70-70. We still may get to triple digits. You know, who knows? It may be 2 Benjamin Franklins hanging on the side of the backboard.
Western Kentucky has scored 39 in the second half. What kind of FIU response are we going to see? They had the counter punch against Liberty. The Jacksonville State ended up going up by 8. Hawkins driving in traffic. No. Pinballed around. Brewer gets a second chance here. Nearly threw it away.
Injury.
Javonte Hawkins.
Hawkins, when he went in traffic, must have landed a little weird on his ankle. And this is the one thing Ballard doesn't want is one more guard coming out of the game. He's walking it off a little bit. McHenry almost got that steal right here, right in front of us, AJ, which would have been a pick 6. We would have been sitting where we were.
That was his only bucket today, was a pick 6.
Yeah,
and
so thank goodness that for FIU that didn't happen, but McHenry's dying to get a big play. You know, that big dunk he had earlier, that's the only thing. You're right.
Hawkins has a tough pass to handle from Pinckney.
It's a tough ask for Hawkins to get in the trees in there. He's a little small to be going in that traffic. But see right here, Hawkins in there with the big boys, and here you see when he goes down really awkward on his left ankle, and that's hence the reason he was hobbled.
Western just gets it across. Numbers advantage here, and they'll pull it back out.
Great D by Pinckney not to fall for that push-up they do on the low block.
Far inside. 2 free throws coming up.
Gonna give it to Wilcox. Could have got it on Wilcox or Pinckney, but Wilcox was the one getting him with the body. Pinckney was just kind of tall enough, but great move to penetrate both guys and kind of split the trap and get that shot up. Faw's impressive. I really like to watch him. He's changed the course of this game at the start of the second half.
From the very first possession of the second half, they got the offensive rebound.
Then he got an offensive rebound put back. You know, I mean, in the first 5 minutes of the game, starting the second half, he had 8 points. You know, he only had 2 in the first half, but he got those 2 quick fouls early, which is really what put him to the bench. And that, yes, it helped FIU take that lead. But, you know, here we are. They cut it down. It's a ball game right now. 5 minutes to go, 70-70 is who wants it most right now. And it's going to take a lot from FIU because they're undermanned. But they're showing heart on senior night.
And Western Kentucky has its first lead of the night with 4:58 to play. It's 71-70. FA now with 11 points.
Hey, the wheel of distraction down there, they got to spin, and it's not really working. FA's just staying calm and shooting those free throws.
1 for 2. Western 8 for 16 from the line today.
Very uncharacteristic for these guys. They can shoot the ball well.
71% average this season. It's a 1-point Western Kentucky lead. Here's Hawkins on his senior night to the other senior, Pinckney. Brewer, 10 to shoot. Hawkins got the floater up. Pinckney follows. Oh, he missed it at the rim.
Wish he would have dunked that. That's what he needs to finish it, big guy. Look at this. Good move by McHenry. Settle it down.
A foul on Lipscomb will put Western Kentucky on the free throw line. That's the 9th team foul, 1-1 coming up here.
Lipscomb all over him, almost like pushed him, kind of lost balance when he back cut him. Really good move by Marshall, cutting on him, going up there 73% from the free throw line. It's I don't think he's worried about it. He's having a nice little afternoon, got 8 points.
It's an 11-1 run right now for Western, and FIU hasn't scored in nearly 2.5 minutes.
Marshall's got 10 rebounds. He's really attacked the glass here.
No problem on the first free throw. This is one more free throw away from a double-double here, yeah.
The Nashville native has had 20 points twice this year since December.
Marshall has 12 after coming into this with 16 points over the last 5 games combined. How can FIU get out of this rut right now?
They've just got to get an easy basket. They're going to want to jack a 3, but they've missed some bunnies. Pinckney just missing that layup. They got to get with something that's going to guarantee them a good look, or just go get a foul.
Lipscomb has 5 threes today. Brewer to the rim, takes contact and finishes.
And he went at FA. I like that, trying to make him get the foul. Put him back on the bench. Good play by Brewer. Got to get a stop. Don't give up something stupid.
Marshall crosses over on Brewer. Wow, what a finish. What a crossover across the lane.
They are so well at their post players sealing the help defender on the penetration, which is right there what FA did so Marshall could get to the rim.
Hawkins, a bunch of crossovers, lobbing. Pinckney that time, no issues on the finish.
Hawkins with a nice little hook shot looking, but no, it was a straight up lob to Pinckney.
One senior to the other. Back to a 1-point game, just over 3 minutes to play. Into the corner, Dante Allen grazes off the rim. Hawkins the board.
Great closeout and a bigger rebound right there by Hawkins staying in there to get that rebound.
Hawkins driving again into the corner. Lipscomb. Hawkins, open 3. Got it!
Big bucket. Great play by Lipscomb to dribble out, suck the defense to him, and just gave it right back to Hawkins deep in the corner.
In his final game in Miami, puts FIU back in front with under 3 to play. FA taking on Pinckney, playing with 4 fouls. FA ties it at 77.
It's a tough break. Pinckney wanted to go up there and block it, but he did a smart move not to get the foul. But as the time's dwindling down, he's going to have to make a play. And sacrifice that foul, maybe to make a defensive stop.
Hawkins with 19. Allen got his hand in there. He says it's off of the foot of Hawkins.
It's too early for an automatic review. Going to a timeout, they may check it. It's a really good question because it did look like it rolled down his leg on that deflection.
2:21 to play as we hit the under 4 timeout. Hawkins trying to will FIU to a victory on senior day. Welcome to beautiful Miami, 77-77, 2:21 to play here at the Ocean Bank Convocation Center, South Florida. Saturday night, glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus. AJ Ricketts, Jacob Ridenhour. Foul situation, something to continue to monitor for FIU. Dante Wilcox now with 5 is out the rest of the way. Seth Pinckney has 4 on the floor for FIU. The Panthers trying to hold on to what was once a 16-point lead. Now it's a battle with the Hilltoppers.
Right there's the reason it's unbelievable they're in this game with him sitting on the bench over there with Arturo Dean.
Big turnover there. Kravakovic traveled. That's got to put some gray hairs in for Jeremy Ballard there. Turnovers like that.
No question.
Just over 2 minutes to play here. McHenry still with 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Western sit 4 of its last 5 shots. Inside, McHenry pump fake. Got it to go. Don McHenry puts Western out in front.
Defensive breakdown right there with Hawkins and Brewer. They were supposed to switch, and they didn't. They're fussing at each other a little bit. They got to play through it.
Hawkins off balance will get a pair of free throws. But Don McHenry really reminds me of Davion McKnight in his game, and both all-conference caliber players. Maybe this might be sacrilegious to say, but Courtney Lee, I know how highly regarded he was at Western Kentucky, only averaged 3 more points per game than what McHenry has done this season. The Sun Belt Player of the Year back in 2008. I'm not trying to say McHenry is comparable to Courtney Lee, but McHenry shoots a better 3-point percentage.
No doubt. And you know who McHenry also reminds me of, but he's a way better shooter. Beekman from Virginia.
Reese Beekman, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is great at just dribbling around and making things happen and the scoop shots and being creative.
Hey, tough free throw there for Hawkins. He didn't miss a free throw last year. Big miss right there. And we'll get this down to a 1-point game, though, with under 2 minutes to play.
I'm taking a deep breath for the young guy. Why am I over here taking a deep breath? I should relax. They're the ones out there having to fight the fight.
Huge possession here. McHenry gets doubled. Ball back to the outside. Allen's hit 1 big 3. There's another. Dante Allen from downtown.
Big-time basket. Grant's got to close out harder, but Allen's got 4 or 5 inches on him. It's not even going to affect him if he jumps.
It's a 4-point lead. Whistle on the play.
Hawkins, a senior, making a smart play. He had on backpedaling and attack the rim.
Foul.
Go get the free throws.
Hawkins back to the line.
Look at this right here. Allen, look, I can make that shot. Even AJ can make that shot. We're sitting back here. He's wide open, nobody within 6 feet. You can't make that play in the final 2 minutes on a player of his caliber with Allen. We'll drop 30 on your last time.
It looks like the angle of Grant's closeout wasn't straight to Allen immediately.
Absolutely. It's all about basketball's angles. It's geometry, it's shooting pool, whatever. You know, it's about the right angles, and it's one of the things they were talking about this morning on their press is their angles of closure on defense, and that was a defensive play of closure, and he took the wrong angle.
And Allen made him pay. Hawkins, 2 for 2. Both teams have hit their last 3 shots from the field. Western breaks the press. 51 second-half points tonight. It's a 2-point Hilltopper lead. Foss sets the screen. McHenry, the 3rd leading scorer in conference play, gives off to Newman. Long 3. Newman missed it. Lipscomb the rebound.
Huge rebound. Great defense right there. Pinckney switched out on the shooter and made him throw it in the paint. A great defense.
Hawkins for the lead. Puts it through!
Might be the biggest basket of Hawkins' career, and it's happening right here on senior night. You gotta love it for the senior to be able to make a basket like that, AJ.
25 points. We're gonna go to the monitor to double check that that was a 3. The biggest shot of the night for Javonte Hawkins.
It's tough to see. It's real right there, not quite a clean enough look, and they're over there getting their replays. The officials, they're going to get it right because you got Barry Mathis over there and Chris Hudson, 2 experienced refs keeping an eye on it. And they're trying to clean it up and make sure where we are.
Right foot didn't stay behind the line. Nevertheless, it at the very least ties the game for the Panthers with 57 seconds left to play. Let's see if this can tell us anything.
It's
and it
close.
looks like there's space there.
Yes, that angle right there. Great job up in the booth, guys. A great angle right there. I love the slow down. We can see exactly what we need. Now, we don't have the perfect look from the front. His toes turned, it looks like just a little bit. I'm feeling that they're in good shape right here. And even if it's not, Coach Ballard's over here setting the table. They've still got to defend. They've still got to stop them and not let it get a basket. And Luss is preparing the same way.
I don't know if that's enough to overturn the call.
Absolutely. It goes back to the call is the call until you can prove it differently. And that's what's going to be interesting here. And, you know, and it's thank goodness for Western Kentucky with 57 seconds left, because you would be absolutely irate if it were something closer and hurting you.
The call does stand. So Western Kentucky, I know they missed that three on the last possession, but it has been an incredibly efficient and effective second half. We mentioned the 51 points, 55% from the field. What is Steve Lutz telling his team, emphasizing here, down by 1, 57 seconds to play.
Oh, it's all day. All sorts of things. They can run the clock down and get a shot late. They could go 2 for 1 right here, which I wouldn't be surprised if the way they play, they wouldn't try to go to 2 for 1, especially. They're going to go to the rim if they can, but they've executed and they have for almost the whole first half and the early part of this half. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does here. They're picking them up full, which I am happy with right there, because if I'm Ballard, I don't want McHenry getting loose.
Right.
You know, make him, even if it's fake pressure, you know, just make him slow down so he can't just, you know, but you want to stay under him, because McHenry is, he can see the floor as good as anybody, so you don't want him to get a clean look.
When FIU has been pressing tonight, when Western breaks it, they're backing it back out. And that's going against what we saw the entirety of the first game. They attack the rim off any press break. These late game sequences, they're valuing.
Yes, exactly. And that's a veteran team and a veteran coach realizing he needs to make sure. You know, they've lost 2 games. They wish they had won. It's a big play.
McHenry will give off to Allen. Plenty of time to shoot. Allen taking on Grant. Hangs, can't hit. Fall, crashes the glass. Misses the putback, but a foul. Seth Pinckney, incredulous. Is that 5 on Pinckney?
I think it's on Pinckney.
And that is the 5th foul on FIU's senior center.
Huge rebound just to stay in there with the guards for FIU, to be in a position to get that rebound. Pinckney right there going up strong. Contesting. Yeah, that's what he's got.
How good has Fa been? 5 offensive rebounds tonight, 13 points.
Oh my gosh, he's unbelievable. I like that kid. He's a big-time asset for Western Kentucky. But I'm gonna say this, fans, that's a good rep, okay? He sat there, kind of let it play out. You know, like if that shot falls, he doesn't foul Pinckney out. I personally, as a basketball guy and a former coach, I'm all about it. Let the players make the plays. But he had to blow the whistle because it affected the outcome of this game.
Fa misses the first. Pressure free throws right now with 35-1 left on the clock. Fa 1 for 4 now at the line tonight.
The wheel of distraction is back there spinning. The cheerleaders back there is a little banana-looking gummy bear bouncy thing going on. They got all the stuff going back there. Arizona State's got nothing on FIU tonight with their curtain of distraction. I like the wheel. But Fa, you know, I feel bad for him. He's a 67% free throw shooter. Like, you got to think the fact that he's 1 for 3 or 1 for 4, you know.
1 for 4 now. So 13 points on 6 of 8 shooting from the field.
He's got a great touch. Absolutely. His touch is in the paint. He's not a jump shooter. You know, I watched him at practice. They shoot some threes and they weren't falling.
Needs one here to tie. Oh, the Iron Kinds. 83-83. 5-second differential between shot and game clock, and Jeremy Ballard will call a timeout.
I like Ballard.
30 seconds left on the clock.
I like Ballard's move right here. He's not happy, but I like his move. Getting in at the half court to give you a chance to make a play and get a call. Not calling a timeout down there.
All right, partner. 30.8 left. Tie game. 25 seconds on the shot clock. How far do you take this down? Theoretically, if you take the shot clock all the way down, what makes that transition opportunity frenetic? But Western Kentucky still has 3 timeouts. How do you approach this here if you're FIU?
Well, FIU wants to score, you know, and you know, they're not a real set play type of team because they've lost all their posts. Everyone's hurt. Dean's out. Gittin's out. Abar's out. Like, you know, it's like, so you got to create. And they've done a great job with Brewer attacking the rim, and even Hawkins getting in there. But with Hawkins, he's been able to give it to Pinckney all night on the lob, but that lob's gone right now. There's no one to lob it to. You know, so that's KK's in there, but his hands aren't quite as astute as Pinckney's are. So, but I would think maybe you get in there attacking the rim, and if you can get, I'm trying to see if Brewer's still in the game. Lipscomb's in, no. Yeah, Brewer's in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Brewer doesn't come attack down the left side, or Hawkins to the right side.
Brewer does have 15 tonight.
Yeah, and he's had a really successful trip going down the left side of the lane. So, but I almost feel like they have to attack to get the foul. You know, I don't like, now, that's a jump shooting team. Coach
Hawkins
Ballard
and
loves the
Lipscomb
three.
have combined for 11 three-pointers
They
tonight.
love the three, so I might be sitting here looking like a goofball saying they're going to the rim and they jack a three, you know, but whatever. I would think they would initiate their play with about 9 seconds, give or take, because they don't want to burn it too low, because you want to give a chance on offensive rebound.
This is Lipscomb. Picked up his dribble. Hawkins near midcourt. Panthers with no timeouts left. 12 to shoot. Hawkins attacking. Puts it up. Missed the rim. It's out of play. Western Kentucky with the stop. They're going to go to the monitor review. It's staying with FIU as the initial call.
Yes, that's the positive for FIU, that they get the initial call. But it's one of those, they're going to go back and look at how the ball changes direction as it flies out of bounds. You got a good look. Brewers reached out there with his hand on it. You got guys slapping at it. But what I did notice is, okay, McHenry just checked in the game. He was not in the game for that last possession. He had all defenders on the floor, his longer guys. No little guys were out there defending.
Keep in mind, if it is FIU basketball, the shot clock does not reset. It did not hit the rim. All this ankle show.
Here we go.
Oh, that might be off Brewer.
I think it's off Brewer. It's like there's some other hands in there. They got a lucky call that they called it that way, but a great job of the officials. They're going to go over and get this thing right. It's going to come back to Western Kentucky. The Knights just got to defend for 13 seconds. That's, you know, maybe get a turnover. Don't let McHenry's in the game, so he's going to come in and, like, I can't imagine he's not going to the rim.
And even with the kind of game McHenry has, there are so many options for what Steve Lutz could do offensively right now with 13 seconds, shot clock turned off. Oh, McHenry, you need one bucket, you need one foul. The third leading scorer in Conference USA, certainly a weapon to do that, but the way that Allen's been shooting, the post play of Fa underneath, or even Howard, there are options here for Steve Lutz.
Because, and the other thing we say he's got in his favor right now is in this half, it's 21-12 on the glass, right? So they have set their precedent on the glass here in the second half, where FIU were like a team possessed, being able to get boards. But here we are. They're going to go to the rim. I'd be totally shocked if that doesn't happen. And then see what happens with the putback. And you would think he's going to burn it down, but he's sitting on a handful of timeouts. You know, he's got a lot of options. He's getting a free timeout right now.
The officials are still taking a look at it, and it seems definitive to us.
So now they're wondering if, so here, does it spin a different direction? When no, he doesn't make it move a different way. If you look, you know, that ball, the last spin on the ball is coming off Western Kentucky. Looks like it's off Column Bay, the spin. But it looks just like there for us, that Brewer's hands are on the ball. But as that ball's moving, when it left Column Bay, Brewer does not make the spin of the ball change, right? Doesn't go faster, doesn't change direction. And that's a lot of times the call. And that's really what they're looking for, is how that rotation adjusts.
And I feel that Jeremy Ballard thinks this may still be FIU basketball. I guess Kravakovic on the floor. You would usually put Jaden Grant in if he needs a defensive substitution. He'd put Grant in for Kravakovic. It's Kravakovic on the floor at the moment.
These guys,
and if it's taken this long on the discussion, and they're going back to the monitor again.
They're handing it off the opinion. When, you know, they're like, listen, now, what's your opinion? And it's good and bad for it. And so you've got them over here with Lutz is over here wanting to draw up every scenario in the world because he doesn't know what his scenario is right now. And Ballard, at the end of the day, he knows what he wants offensively, and then he's got he's in a little bit of different position because he's either got a lob play or he's playing defense. You know, but we come back down here.
Both teams have had enough time to draw up whatever they want, whether they're going to be on offense or defense.
They've been thinking so long, I'm worried about everybody's retention on how many plays they can remember right now. This is such a tough call. Just such a tough call for these guys to make. And as you said earlier in that questionable call, the call on the floor stands unless there's evidence to truly overturn it.
Steve Lutz patiently waiting. You're so a lot of what is assessed is that rotation.
Hunter, it all goes back to, because, you know, back in the day, John Guthrie at the SEC was one of my good friends.
It's going to be a Panther possession.
And I used to go to his officiating camp up at Middle Tennessee State. And that's one of the things they taught, is that it's the spin. It's all about the spin. Watch that spin on, and there we got it. They didn't see a spin rotation.
I can feel the Western Kentucky frustration. They were at the wrong end of a bad call at the end of the Middle Tennessee game. The Conference USA even issued a statement about that. A tough break here with 13.8 left, but just 7 on the shot clock.
Okay, Lutz got 3 timeouts. He's going to burn one of them right here so he can readjust. I think he was almost convinced he was going to get the ball back. So now he's going to, and also he got to see what Coach Ballard was thinking. So now Lutz is going to change his defense. You know, Ballard's going to change his offense. So whatever they were planning on doing a minute ago, it's a whole new set. Both of them are going to throw it up in the air.
Javonte Hawkins leads all scorers tonight with 25 points in his final game in the Ocean Bank Convocation Center. Seth Pinckney and Dante Wilcox have fouled out. Some of the most meaningful minutes this season for their backup big man, Okechukwu Okeke. He's played 16 minutes tonight, 6 points. Certainly a lob threat, a great talent. You mentioned sometimes the hands haven't been there on the receiving ends of alley-oops or pocket passes. He's not always in late in the game at these moments.
I'll say this. If they lob it to KK, he's going to make it interesting. He's either going to, I think he's either going to bring the rim down or it's going to bounce back to the next free throw line, because there's no question he's going in there with authority. And KK's a great, I love that guy. He's got such an energy about him, like he's a fun kid. But, you know, so he's going to try to slam it home. But once again, Ballard loves the 3. His guards are shooting it. You know, Brewer, Lipscomb, and Hawkins both are lighting it up from deep tonight. So he's sitting there with the question mark.
Well, he drew up the last play for Hawkins, who faced a pair of defenders and on a tough shot outside of the paint.
Lutz is begging.
You sense he's got every reason to be upset.
Yeah, I know we got there. So Chris Hudson's kind of talking to Coach Lutz about, you've already got your review, and Lutz is like, I called a timeout. That's why I called the timeout. And that's a smart head coach, taking advantage of the rules, you know, as far as he can.
He's still asking for an explanation about something here. Barry Mathis.
But as we said,
with him.
When you go to the end of the play, you truly can't make an assessment that Brewer did touch it. We had a good angle. I don't know if they had the same angle, but from our angle, the ball never changed the rotation. It didn't speed up. It didn't slow down. It was the same spin coming off column base. And unless somebody's got the perfect view, how do you overturn that? That's the sheer physics of an officiating play out of bounds.
6 seconds to shoot. This is Hawkins. Newman right in front. Hawkins has to get it off. Fade away. Got it! Hawkins, as the shot clock expires. 2-point Panther lead. 3 seconds to go. The whistles blow with 1.3 left. Timeout, Western Kentucky, before Tegan Moore got the shot off. FIU leads by 2, and it's their senior sharpshooter in its final game in Miami, Javonte Hawkins, who puts the Panthers in front.
Big time play by Hawkins. Hawkins sets him up. He's great handoff by KK. They didn't blow it up this time. Good transition. He's sizing him up, knows the clock's expiring, and Newman, great defense by Newman. Newman maybe could have jumped, but he wasn't going to get the block. He kind of crossed him over. Great job by Hawkins. He couldn't be happier for a senior.
This is a senior who last season just 5 points per game. He's been more than a role player here in his time at FIU, but he has taken on a different role this season, trying to keep things afloat when the injuries have mounted for FIU. Tonight, 27 points, well above his average of 12 a game, and he's got FIU up by 2. As the officials, they're taking a look at the clock as well, see when that timeout was called and how much time Western Kentucky will have.
And he's still got another timeout, so I wouldn't be shocked if they're putting it down here. I wonder where they're going to have the ball. He can get the ball to half court almost on a catch and a timeout almost. It'd be instantaneous if it's a clean throw, but with McHenry, you almost want to catch him on the fly. So they're going to bring him in. McHenry's going to be trying to catch the ball on the run, away from the baseline, towards the offensive basket. That's your key.
Well, the question is, too, when was that timeout call? There's a frenetic sequence. So half a second added. This is actually going to be inbounded on Western Kentucky's head.
Okay. Out of bounds under. Oh, lob.
With 1:8 left.
Everybody. Look for the lob.
McHenry to inbound. McHenry has to get it off. This is Marshall for the win. No, he missed it short. And FIU survives on senior night. 85-83. What a game.
Great defense by FIU. What an emotional performance by the seniors, from Hawkins to Pinckney to Wilcox. Great play, great defense. They got their look, AJ. They had a clean look at the basket. Hawkins right there with that game-winning shot up here at the free throw line with that step-back play with Newman on the closeout.
Western Kentucky stormed back in this game. The Hilltoppers had all the momentum. It felt like another game for FIU in which the Panthers would let a double-digit lead slip. Javante Hawkins had other ideas. Marshall got a look at it and put it online.
Had a good catch. He had the smaller Grant on him, but he kind of stepped to the side on his shot. He probably would have, if he goes back, he probably wishes he had took a clean shot just straight at the rim. But he had to do what he had to do on what he felt with the defense on him. Great defense not to give him the interior pass. Compliments to FIU with that defense down there under the basket. They gave up a layup earlier. It really hurt them in the first half, late in the first part of the second half. But got to be excited for these seniors, and it's a tough trip back to Bowling Green right now for Western Kentucky and their fans.
And the moxie from FIU tonight, without their leading scorer, rebounding, defensive player Arturo Dini. Javante Hawkins steps up on his final home game. Seth Pinckney with great contributions as well, 3 blocks and terrific defense throughout. But Hawkins today was able to stem the tide when Western Kentucky had fought back and felt like they were going to take care of business on the road. And FIU still with hopes and possibilities of avoiding that first round game on Tuesday to try to put themselves in better position to win 3 games in 3 days at the Conference USA tournament.
Coach Ballard told me yesterday, at the end of practice, he still felt like there were better days ahead of this team. And like he's like, we're getting there. We're still adjusting from losing kids like we talked about earlier. Lost A-Bar early, lost Git. Now he's got his all-conference being out, but the kids pull together. They got to feel good as a staff. Great game plan by Coach Ballard, but he had to hold on in the second half because Lutz brought the magic and had that team rolling here in the second half.
What a game. What a comeback from Western, but FIU 85-83 winners. Much more coming up here on ESPN Plus after the break. Stay with us here in Miami as FIU wins by 2 on senior night.